so it'll be easier to cook the meat. And now I'm boiling the bones. Hopefully I'll get a nice broth out of that.
Wow. You're such a chef.
So fancy.
You know what I'm good at making?
Grilled cheese.
It's like the one thing I'm good at.
It's the only thing you make.
Hey, I can make like an omelet.
Oh wow.
Not a good one though.
I mean,
But it is an omelet, technically speaking. I
if
can
I can eat
make
it.
scrambled eggs.
That reminds me of when I worked at Triple O's and one of the customers ordered scrambled eggs. And the kid working in the back didn't know how to make scrambled eggs, so he made a flat egg and then chopped it up.
What?
Yeah.
What?
He had no idea how to make scrambled eggs.
Wait, how is he working here without them verifying that he knows how to make
Oh, he
different
was
types
some
of eggs?
17-year-old. He just learned how to make the eggs that go in the sandwiches because it's pretty easy. Like there's timers and such. So, but like a scrambled eggs, he was like, "What?" There's no video to show me how to do that, like training video.
Because it's obvious.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I guess if no one's ever shown you how to make scrambled eggs before, then
Yeah.
what would you think is the way to make
True.
them?
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It was the owners. They always hired young kids, like 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. God damn.
Probably just so they can pay them less.
Yeah, we didn't have benefits, so the kids came to us.
Wait, what? You didn't
The
have
trip.
benefits so kids came to you?
Yeah, because the kids are under their parents' benefits, so it's like they didn't care. Like most like grown freaking adults didn't want to work at Triple O's because they didn't have benefits.
Were you guys working full time?
Yep.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, what the fuck?
Yep.
Alright, triple O's. Fucking cheap
White Spot
motherfuckers.
is a big corporation. They can afford that.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I
it
don't know,
depends
like,
on the
from...
owner.
Huh?
I wonder if it depends on the owner of the franchise if they get it. Because
Oh,
it's
maybe.
bizarre.
Yeah, I don't really know how, like, the whole business side of it works.
Mm. I'm gonna pour some tea.
Okay, you pour that tea. Hello, and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
I'm Jess.
How has your day been, Jess?
My day?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I got up early and went grocery shopping, did some cleaning, then played Sims.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about The Sims.
Well, Eric, our brother, sent me some mods to for
Yeah, for what?
how do I say?
To make
Basically,
it.
like they get naked, so like it doesn't blur out their nudity, and like you actually see them boohooing.
Oh,
Like
weird.
it's pretty like pornographic.
What does the woohooing
Like
look
all the
like?
positions. It looks like porn.
What? But like, do they flip between different positions, or is it just
Yeah,
like
there's like many different positions. There's anal, like you can do
what?
same sex. There's like oral. There's hand jobs. There's everything.
What the
Yeah.
hell? Damn, I am curious.
Oh, and you have to buy birth control pills or condoms to not get pregnant. And
Oh.
there's a menstrual cycle, so you have to buy tampons and whatnot.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It is.
Hmm. Okay. I don't really know what more to say about that.
Yeah.
I went to get a CBCT scan for my wisdom teeth.
Okay.
I don't know what CBCT stands for, or what was so special about this scan that I needed to pay $150 for it.
Oh, let me show you. I think I have like an idea, but I don't know how to explain it. But it's a fancy.
It was I saw her looking at it on the screen after, and
So
it looked
you
like
saw
a
the image?
it looked like a 3D model of my like
Yeah.
lower jaw. So I guess that is some fancier shit. So I had to go get this scan, and then they send it to my dentist because
Mhm.
I didn't get it done at my dentist. They referred me to somewhere else. I guess they don't have that like machine at my dentist. But anyway,
Oh yeah.
they sent the scan to my dentist, and then I heard back from my dentist who told me that they were not comfortable removing my wisdom teeth there at my dentist because my lower wisdom teeth are particularly close to my lower jaw nerve. So they're going to send
Oh.
me to an oral surgeon, and now I'm like scared.
Well, you're in better hands with a professional like this.
They're
It's just
all
gonna be
professionals,
pricey.
but I mean,
Like
he's a
more, like
specialist.
they're more professional.
I don't think that's more
I
professional. No,
think
he's just
they have more training in that
specialist.
specific area.
Yeah.
I would
So
feel
he's a
more comfortable.
specialist.
Yeah, someone who's more specifically trained, like in that area,
I
than
just
someone who's not.
I do not approve of your term using professional.
Okay, they're both professional.
But it's just it makes me nervous now because like I thought it would just be fine. It's just a normal remove my wisdom teeth, and now they're like, you know what? There's like this slightly more complicated thing. Whenever there's complications, it's always,
Scary. I guess.
yeah.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
So I have that to look forward to now. Maybe I'll go get my wisdom teeth out and then never feel my jaw again.
Goodness.
You say goodness a lot when you don't know what to say.
Yeah, that is my I don't know what to say word. Same with oh my.
When did you get so PG? Goodness
I'm
and
hanging
oh
out
my.
with an Amber's third friend who didn't swear at all.
Yeah, what are you like,
Breaks
60?
it all up.
Alright, well that's all I've got.
Yeah,
Shall we get into it?
we shall.
What was that squeal? Were you yawning?
Yeah.
Okay, because I just heard like the first part of it and then it cut out.
Oh goodness, because it was too high. It was too high pitched.
I don't know, maybe. Alright, so what are we drinking today, Jess?
I have a cream of Earl Grey tea that I need to go and prep.
Yum. Alright, go grab it. Where's your cream of Earl Grey from?
I got it from Superstore, but it's David's tea.
You can get that at Superstore?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, I know where I'm going later.
Yeah, because all the David's teas like that I've seen aren't open.
Yeah, the one at the mall I work at is not open, and I was like, do I have to buy all my shit online? Like, I really need some tea. I'm running low.
Right? If you want the good stuff.
And I don't want to go get some like shitty Tetley tea bags from the grocery store,
Tetley's all right.
It's fine for a tea bag, but I feel like once you go loose leaf, you can't really go back.
Yeah.
I still
No,
do
David's
have.
teas are the tea bags.
Okay. But I feel like
It's
maybe
so
this
delicious.
is just me like
Being a tea
it's just
shop?
the or just the branding is kind of like manipulating the way I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's like loose leaf in like a bag. It's not like a tea. And I know that's what a tea bag is, and I know it sounds fucking dumb. feel like it's more dry in like companies that
It's
just
more
put out
high
like tea
quality.
bags.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure David's tea uses a more high quality tea than like the cheapest stuff you see there.
Yeah, like I feel like Tetley stuff is, you know, like mass produced and it's like really dry and it's like not got a lot of flavor. Not that David's tea is not mass produced because I'm sure it is. Um, but I don't know. Yeah, it's the quality.
Yeah, you definitely taste the difference.
I sounded like such a fucking idiot there. All right.
Right.
I am just drinking water today.
Oh, delicious. I love water.
I'm trying to drink more water. We've talked about this previously
Um,
on an episode.
I think I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, my low blood pressure
Oh, yeah. Okay.
and like fainting whenever I get stabbed with a needle. If you haven't heard that one, listen to our previous episodes. All right, let's get into it. Where did we leave off our characters, Jess?
Right. Sansa got her period and she's brought before the queen for some womanly advice. John has a wolf dream and is attacked by an eagle in this dream as ghosts, and then the eagle finds the
the
the group and then leads the wildlings to them.
Ooh.
Cersei has captured Tyrion's whore, but it's actually
Yeah. There you go.
Yay! I did it. And Tyrion vows revenge to keep appearances, and I think he also cares for Alayaya.
Oh yeah, he does for sure.
Good guy Tyrion.
Good
Sort
guy
of.
Tyrion. Sort of.
Problematic.
Yeah. I think every character is a little problematic.
True.
Like, would Jon have not killed Ygritte if Ygritte was a man?
He would have.
He would have killed Ygritte.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because
No hesitation.
she seems like weak and whatever, right?
The womanly innocence that he has.
Yeah. She's a woman. She's weak and she can't defend herself. Therefore, I do not kill her. Even the best characters are problematic.
Sure.
But they are of their time.
Yeah.
I guess we can give them that excuse. Anyway. Alright, so we're starting with chapter 55. Catelyn. Cat is having dinner with Brienne in the Great Hall of Riverrun. Well, Brienne is eating, but Cat is staring into her wine goblet. From the yard outside, they can hear the sounds of the celebration for Edmure's return and Robb's conquest. Cat doesn't blame them for celebrating. They don't know what happened to her sons. So, it sounds like she received news from Winterfell that Bran and Rickon are both dead as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, very dead. You see those bodies? They dead as fuck. Cat tries to dismiss Brienne, but when she won't leave, Cat tells her about the letter she had received from Sir Roderick. Her sons are dead. Brienne is obviously horrified. Cat tells her that Brienne and Rickon tried to escape Winterfell, but were taken at a mill. Theon Greyjoy mounted their heads on the walls of Winterfell. Theon Greyjoy, who ate at Cat's table since he was 10. This motherfucker.
Right? The audacity.
I kind of wonder, for those who, like, never saw the show and are reading this for the first time, is it pretty convincing that they're dead? Or do you think it would be questionable for someone who doesn't know what happens?
I don't know if I can answer that because I saw the show first.
Yeah.
Maybe I would think that they are dead at this point because Reek's dream, of standing over the two boys with their like flayed faces, right?
Did you say
So
Reek stream?
Yeah, that's it. No, it was freaking sorry.
You mean Jojen's
It
stream?
was Jotun's stream of Reek.
Yeah.
Standing above the boys.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, so that got me to think like, oh god, are they dead?
Yeah, that's true.
Probably.
It's definitely being presented that way, that this is the truth. At least until we get to Theon's chapter. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. All right.
Yeah.
Brienne makes the mistake of saying Kat's sons are with the gods now. Kat then goes on a rant about what her children are like slash were like and what they've been through. Rickon and Bran especially. She pauses for a moment when she remembers Summer saving Bran from the assassin and says that Theon must have killed the direwolves too, or else they would have kept the boys safe.
Mm-hmm.
She puts a lot of trust in those direwolves.
Yep, Summer showed her.
Yeah, but does she not know that they're locked in the Godswood?
I don't think she would have known any of that. Because it wasn't her who did that.
Right. Wait, why are they locked in the Godswood again? Oh, because Rickon or Shaggy, like,
yeah, Shaggy Dog
attacked people.
Shaggy Dog's a biter.
Right, when they had visitors, he was like
Yeah.
being a naughty dog.
He didn't like those twins? No, cousins. Freaking the phrase.
Oh, yeah. Thinking about the dire wolves makes Kat think about how her daughters have no wolves now. Kat then goes on about her daughters, and annoyingly enough, she talks more about their looks than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that the reason for this could be less of a sexist thing and more because of how they look kind of opposite from each other.
Yeah.
Because all the boys look like Kat, right?
I know Rob does. I don't recall how the younger ones are described.
Yeah, I think they do all, like, have the Tully features. Maybe Rob more so than the others, but they do.
Yeah.
I think that's the idea, that they do all kind of look more like Kat than Ned. But then with Sansa and Arya, Sansa looks a lot like Kat, but Arya looks like a Stark.
Yeah.
Like, she has Ned's features.
I think that's why Arya and John bonded, because they look like the Starks.
Right, that makes sense. So that could be the reason why she's talking about their looks more than anything, but I was still like...
Yeah.
Because she goes on about how Bran loved to climb and... like, their interests.
Them
and...
to me, basically. I don't even know how they...
Right? Anyway... Brienne suggests that the queen may take pity on Kat now and send back her daughters, but Kat disagrees. Yeah, it's like, that's cute, Brienne. Kat says Robb will avenge his brothers, and she starts blabbing about ice and Valyrian steel and chopping Theon's head off. She then mentions she has sent wine to the Kingslayer. This ploy had served her well with Cleos Frey, getting him drunk and then getting him to talk.
Yeah.
Kat tells Brienne she will send for her at midnight. Okay, so I thought way too hard about this.
Oh.
Because I was like, okay, if it's dinner time, let's say it's 8 p.m. It's like a late dinner, right? And
Yeah.
Jaime is receiving the wine now at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Let's say it takes him an hour to finish the bottle, which is, again, being generous, because I don't think that he would take that long to finish it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So he'd be drunk at like 9.
Yeah.
So Kat is giving him 3 hours to sober up before going to visit him. What the fuck?
A jug of wine? How much?
Yeah, it's a... I don't know what the actual container is called, but I pictured it like normal wine bottle sized.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a flagon. That's what they called it, a flagon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. What is a... How big is a flagon? Okay, it's bigger than a bottle.
How big is it?
If you look up a flagon, like, that looks bigger than a wine bottle. I would say that maybe 1.5 wine bottles.
Looks like a jug.
Yeah, it's just like a large jug. Maybe 1.5 wine bottles, to be generous.
Yeah.
But still,
I think it'll probably take longer. Maybe an hour, maybe longer. Depends on how you enjoy wine.
I guess so.
Like, if you got that much water, would you drink it all at once?
Okay, but he's just stuck in a cell. He's stuck in a cell and there's nothing else to do. He's just going to be drinking it the whole time. If you're, like, at a party or something, you're doing other stuff. You're not just, sipping down your drink the whole time.
Yeah.
But he's not doing anything
True
else.
enough. Yes, drinking is the most exciting thing to do.
Yeah. Alright, so Brienne asks, why so late? I'm also curious. And Kat says, 1 hour is much like another down there. Whatever that means. And
I guess because there's no sun, so that no one can tell the time down there.
yeah, but also, what does that have to do? Like, why midnight?
Oh.
That doesn't answer the question. And she says for her, all hours are midnight. Oh, shit. This is some emo shit. Kat leaves and goes to her father's solar. Outside, she can hear the people shouting toasts to the brave young lord, and Kat seems offended that they are calling Edmure Lord since her father is still alive.
He's dying.
Yeah, but she's like, he's not dead yet.
Okay.
Edmure's not the Lord.
Isn't he a Lord, though?
See, that's what I thought. But she
Yeah.
was very offended by them calling him Lord
Yeah,
because her father is alive. But yeah, like, don't they call, like, Bran Little Lord?
Yeah, they do.
Even though he's not, like, the Lord. I mean, I guess he's a prince now, technically, but before.
Yeah. It was just sensitive. Oh.
Arya's a lady, right?
She is.
So, Kat's still alive.
Yes, she is.
What is this? There's no consistency.
No.
So I feel like it's Kat just being overly, like, defensive
Yeah,
over her father.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's a good possibility.
So Lord Hoster is in a deep, dream wine-induced sleep. Kat sits with him and with her grief. She talks to him about the past and about how hard everything is now. Robb has to fight the Greyjoys as well as the Lannisters. She wants her daughters back, and she wants Robb to give up the war, and she wants her sons back. Well, well, Catelyn. Maybe if you had gone home when I told you to. God!
Why didn't she listen to you?
Right? At midnight, Brienne arrives and they head down to the dungeon. The jailer tells her Lord Edmure says no one is to see the Kingslayer without his written permission, and Kat calls him out on calling Edmure Lord. Kat demands the jailer open the cell or come with her to Lord Hoster's solar and tell the Lord why he defied her. He opens the cell and leaves them be. Brienne positions herself outside the door and Kat heads inside the cell. It's fucking nasty in here. It's dark and smelly, and there's a pail overflowing with feces in one corner. Whose job is it to get rid of that? Because they're slacking.
I don't think it's anyone's job to get rid of it.
Ew, you're probably right. It's probably just a courtesy even to give him a bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so gross. And when they, like, take him out for whatever reason, and then put, like, a new prisoner in, is it just all the old prisoner's shit still in there?
God.
No one cleans it, right? I can't imagine that they clean it.
That's so gross.
That's vile. So, the wine is by the door still, untouched. Jaime greets Kat, but says he's in no condition to receive her. He looks like a shaggy beast, unwashed, bearded, rotting clothes, and even so, his power and beauty are still present. He still looks good, even with, like, the hobo look.
Even while smelling like shit.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Jaime thinks the wine was meant to kill him and tells Kat she looks terrible. He guesses... Right? What a gentleman. He guesses Kat is here to have her pleasure of him.
Ew.
Kat is revolted.
Yeah.
She says there are things she must know. Jaime doesn't see why he should tell her anything, and they argue about it until Kat gets up to leave. Then Jaime says he will tell her what she wants to know, the truth, for a price. He also wants answers. All he hears from the turnkeys in the dungeons are lies. He asks for the wine, which Kat gives him, and she asks him if he's Joffrey's father. He confirms it, as well as the rest of Cersei's brood, he calls it. He asks Kat if his kin still live. She tells him Sir Stafford Lannister was killed at Oxcross, but Jaime doesn't give a fuck about him. He cares about Cersei, Tyrion, and his father. Kat tells him they all live. Kat asks how Bran fell off the tower, and Jaime says he flung him from the window. Damn!
Straight up.
Kinda... I mean, I know this was their deal with each other, to tell the truth, but I kind of respect
It's
Him being so blunt about it. Kat tells Jamie he is a pretty shitty knight, as he's sworn to protect the weak and innocent. She then accuses him of paying for the assassin, but this Jamie denies. Kat doesn't believe him, but he swears on his honor as a Lannister. Kat says his honor as a Lannister is worth less than this, and she kicks over the pail of feces.
Ew.
Yeah, why would you even go near that? Jamie creeps away from the ooze, but still says he didn't hire anyone. He would have killed the boy himself. Kat finally believes him, but then accuses Tyrion because the assassin had his dagger. She tells Jamie what the dagger looked like and how Tyrion supposedly won it. Jamie says Tyrion never bet against him and never won that dagger. Jamie recalls that dagger did change hands, though. Robert was showing it to him at the feast. Wait, so Robert had it? What does this mean?
He had the knife?
Yeah,
The dagger?
Robert had the dagger, and he was showing it to
I
Jamie.
completely missed that. Rob was showing it to Jamie?
Yeah,
I completely missed that.
it's confusing, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the...
Maybe. Oh wait, never mind.
What?
I was thinking of like, cause I'm watching this show, and I like jumped way ahead.
What?
I was wondering if Kat was the prisoner, and that's why I was taking from her. But like, wait, we're not there yet.
Oh. The fuck? Huh. So maybe I misinterpreted this because you're saying you missed it, but I gotta look at this now. So I was
Okay.
pretty certain it said that Robert had the blade. Yeah, so Jamie says, that dagger did change hands. I recall it now. Robert showed it to me that night at the feast. His grace loved to salt my wounds, especially when drunk.
What chapter? I mean, what page is this?
This is page 794.
794.
So that means Robert bet against Jamie because he won the knife from someone.
Oh,
So if Robert had the knife,
yeah.
how would it
That
end up?
wasn't Tyrion's.
Yeah. Well, we know it was Peter's.
Mm-hmm.
So Peter, I guess, lost it to Robert?
Yeah. Robert won it. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Peter's story keeps unraveling.
But what does this... Okay. What does this mean? So Robert had the dagger, but the dagger has to end up in the hands of this assassin. So how does it get
Yeah.
from Robert to the assassin? Cersei?
Who was able to get to Robert's knife?
Cersei?
Maybe? But isn't there a part where she asks if it was Cersei and he's like, no? Or am I making shit up? Because I'm pretty sure someone asked Cersei and she said no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because before she accuses Tyrion, she accuses Cersei. I didn't include it because it was just, he was just like, no, she tells me everything.
Yeah. So someone else must have.
Taken it from Robert.
Yeah, someone who was close to Robert. Who knew what happened.
Yes. Okay. So there's this next part.
Okay.
Kat realizes that Tyrion said the same thing to her about how he like didn't bet against his brother and blah 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 blah. But Peter's the one who had told her otherwise. Peter, a trusted friend who was like a brother. But if Jamie and Tyrion had the same story, they hadn't seen each other in over a year since departing Winterfell, so there's no way that they could have rehearsed it.
Nope.
And holy shit, has it been that long since they left Winterfell?
Yeah, well, it takes so long to travel around, and you know what? Everything that's happened since then, like, a lot of time has passed.
Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, I still don't get it. How Robert had the dagger and then it ended up in the assassin's hands.
Let's rule out Robert, because he would have killed them all if he had known. I don't think Robert would have hired an assassin.
No.
It
No, he would have...
was someone else who got close.
Yeah, no, Robert would have, like, publicly burned Cersei at the stake. But yeah, I have no idea what that means. Anyway.
We'll find out.
Well, I'm sure
Who
we will.
actually did send this shit.
Yeah. Jaime asks if Robert's brothers have taken the field. Cat tells him that Stannis marches on King's Landing and Renly is dead, murdered by his brother by some black art. Jaime asks what side the Tyrells have taken, and Cat says Renly's, but now she isn't so sure. Jaime says Robb must be lonely, since no one is joining his side. Cat says Robb has won every battle he fought. Jaime asks if Robb has fought his father, Tywin, yet. They argue until Cat calls Jaime out for being a shit knight again. She brings up how he betrayed his own king. Jaime sarcastically toasts to Aerys Targaryen, and Cat realizes he's drunk now. So yeah, he's just been slamming the wine back. Jaime asks Cat if Ned ever told her how his father died, or his brother Brandon. Cat says that they strangled Brandon while his father watched, then killed Lord Rickard as well. Jaime just kind of like rolls his eyes and he's like, Ned was sparing you. So he tells her the true story of what happened. Jaime tells her Lord Rickard demanded trial by combat, but Aerys' version of that was to suspend him over a blazing fire. To prove himself innocent, all he needed to do was not burn. Sounds like those like witch trials or whatever.
Right.
They brought in Brandon, tied his hands behind his back, tied his neck to a device from Tyrosh, which isn't really described, and set his longsword just beyond his reach. They roasted Lord Rickard slowly. Aerys promised to free them if Brandon could cut him down. Brandon tried, to reach for his sword, but the more he struggled, the tighter the cord got around his neck. In the end, he strangled himself, and Lord Rickard burned. Wow, that's fucked up.
That's really messed.
Yeah, and Jaime was there the whole time. And he tells Cat that he was just filling his head with thoughts of Cersei because basically it was so horrific to witness.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah. But Cat doesn't believe Jaime slew the king to avenge Brandon Stark. And Jaime's like, that's not what I was saying. He says, quote, I think it passing odd that I am loved by one for a kindness I never did, and reviled by so many for my finest act. So that finest act would be killing the king, I guess.
Yeah.
But what is the kindness he never did? Loved by one for a kindness I never did. What is that about? It's on page 798, the last paragraph. Catelyn's like, I don't believe that you slew him to avenge Brandon Stark, and Jaime says, I made no such claim. The Starks were nothing to me. I will say, I think it passing odd that I am loved by one for a kindness I never did, and reviled by so many for my finest act. Loved by one for a kindness I never did? Is this something really obvious that it's just not coming to me?
That's what I'm wondering. He's saying it so matter-of-factly, like we should know.
Yeah.
No, I feel dumb.
Right? Loved by one for a kindness I never did.
Who loves Jaime?
Other than Cersei? I don't think it's supposed to be a member of his family, though.
Yeah, I don't either. Fuck, I don't even
I'm
know.
so lost.
Yeah.
Alright, maybe it'll come to us some other time. Loved by one. I don't know, man. Shit. Alright. So Jaime says Ned should have kissed his hand, but instead scolded him for sitting in the Iron Throne. Jaime thinks Ned loved Robert better than anyone else. He was never unfaithful to Robert, was he? Yikes. Sore spot alert. Jaime says he's never lain with anyone but Cersei. In that way, he's been truer than Ned ever was. Poor old dead Ned. Who has shit for honor now? What was the name of his bastard? Cat says, Brienne. But Jaime's like, no, that wasn't it. It was Snow. Brienne opens the door and comes in. You called, my lady? Cat holds out her hand and tells Brienne to give her her sword. And that's it. Cat has a lot of these, badass cliffhanger chapter endings, doesn't she?
She does. What is she up to?
Yeah.
I googled it.
Googled what?
What we were talking about, what he was saying.
The kindness he never did?
Yeah.
What is it?
It says here that it's explained later in the series. If you're thinking about it, you realize it, but here's a hint. It's a kindness he never did, but took credit for. It means he lied. No, I'm just as confused.
What?
That was the hint.
Something he took credit for? Loved by one person for a kindness. I'm racking my brains.
Me too.
Tyrion? For a kindness he never did? Did Jaime...
Hiring the whore for Tyrion?
But I wouldn't call that a kindness. And Tyrion wouldn't love him for that, right? Because it turned out to be a whore.
Jaime for Jaime.
Yeah. It's not Cersei. That's the one I'm like 100% sure about.
Yeah, I can't imagine him lying to her.
So who the fuck else
Who the fuck
loves Jaime? Maybe it is Tyrion, but it's something else?
Oh, I just heard another hint and it's saying Tyrion
Oh, it is Tyrion.
would hate him for it, but I guess he's actually still grateful. And this person also says, I'm not sure why he calls it a kindness. And that's the biggest confusing thing.
Oh. Alright. I guess I'm completely lost now, though.
I'm lost too.
At least I figured out it was Tyrion.
Yeah.
Alright, that's the end of that chapter.
And that is the last of your chapter.
For the next 2 episodes, I can lean back and relax.
Lucky them.
Okay, I've been so busy though with like editing for both the Patreon and the podcast, so this feels fair to me.
Nice.
Yeah. I literally just leaned back in my chair, put like the recliner back, grabbed my notebook. I have my like leg up on the desk now. Time to relax. Take it away, Jess.
Chapter Theon.
Wait, let me think. This is chapter 56? Yes.
So Asha has arrived to Winterfell with her men. Theon has been having vivid nightmares of wolves with children's faces, of the dead boys and dead Miller's wife.
Yeah.
So he's clearly feeling a lot of guilt if he's having nightmares.
Is it guilt or is he just afraid of being caught?
Maybe it's both.
Probably. I did like the continuous use of the word mercy even after he wakes up, because that's something that was like in the dream, but then it still like happens here and there after he wakes up. And I think it's a smart way of showing that the dream is like still kind of lingering there with him without spelling that out.
Yeah, they're really stuck into him.
Also, what happened with the Miller's wife? Did he just like rape her and then kill her?
I think he didn't do it. I think it was probably Reek who killed her because she tried fighting.
Okay, but
to protect the boys.
But we know that Theon had sex with her first. I mean, I shouldn't say had sex because
like they had relations before.
Oh, before.
Yeah.
I see.
Like he was one of his girls or ladies. Like he's done it a lot with her.
Gotcha.
Which also makes this pretty sick.
Yeah.
That she had trusted Theon and he came and did this awful thing.
To her children.
And her. I do think he's feeling a little bit of remorse.
Yeah.
That it got so out of hand. And he's trying to blame others, but his dreams are telling him that it's his fault. That's how I'm seeing it.
Okay.
So after Theon had brought back the boys and like stuck their heads on pikes above the gate, his men have been slowly murdered one by one. Like someone's killing his men.
Oh shit! I was like, who the fuck is doing this?
Yeah, like this is.
I was like, old man.
Imagine little granny sneaking around killing these soldiers. He had accused this guy named Farland. I don't quite remember who he is.
Sounds familiar.
Dudes. Yeah. And sentenced him to death for these killings, and the killings stopped after this. So could have been him, or maybe someone was scared off.
Are you joking?
No. I don't know.
Oh. No. Theon was doing it.
You think Theon was killing his men?
Theon was killing his own men because they couldn't keep secrets. They were the ones who came with them to the mill.
What? Really?
Uh-huh.
Man, I had just glazed that.
Yeah, he had to find a scapegoat,
Chuck.
so
Oh my
he chose
goodness.
Farland, but yeah, it was Theon who was killing them.
Wow.
Maybe not him personally, but he was having someone kill them.
Reek?
Probably Reek, yeah. Because he couldn't trust anyone else, right?
Yeah. But why does he trust Reek? What did Reek do?
I think he also questions why he's trusting Reek. He's like, I should have him killed too, probably. But if Reek's the one doing the killing, it's like, is Theon gonna kill Reek now? He can't ask someone else to kill Reek without having a good reason.
It's
Cause
gonna have to be Theon.
exactly, and Theon's not gonna do that. We all know he's a big pussy.
Yeah, I'll talk, no bite.
Hmm.
No, he's pretty skilled. I don't know.
I feel like if he's fighting like strangers, he's good with a bow.
Yeah.
But
Eh.
I don't know. He needs to be like in the right environment. I feel like he's not always brave.
Yeah. Especially when confronted with himself.
Exactly. So yeah, Theon's the one who was killing his own Iron Man.
Okay. I didn't know that.
See, I couldn't figure it out for a while too. I was like, who, what? Like, why are these dudes dying? But yeah, Theon, there are like two different small things that Theon thinks that I was like, oh. The first one was that he thinks that the Iron Men can't keep secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing, he thinks, not in these words, but it's phrased differently, but he thinks that someone has to take the fall for this.
I just completely missed it.
You should go back and read that little section again. Not right now, but
Okay.
now that you know, maybe it'll make it come across a little differently.
So Asha had only brought 20 men, and she only plans on leaving him 10 when he had asked for like an army.
So he's like,
Theon-
I need to defend Winterfell now. Horta torture too.
He angrily accuses her of envy, and she calls him, what the hell?
She calls him what the hell?
Yeah. Okay. And she sarcastically calls him like such a brave warrior for killing 2 small boys, which humiliates him in front
Yeah.
of her men.
Yeah.
They leave the Great Hall for privacy so that she stops embarrassing him in front of her men. And Theon learns that Dagmar had lost the fight at Torrance Square and that he's heading back to this stony...
Stony Shore?
Oh, so it is a word. Did it sound like a word coming out of my mouth?
Stony?
Yeah, stony.
It's the name of
Okay.
the Post Malone album.
So you...
Stony.
Nice. He's heading back to the stony shore with the other survivors. Theon confronts her and says that he had commanded her to bring men. And she's like, Father commands me, not you. I didn't have to bring anyone.
I love that she just doesn't take even a fraction of Tyrion's shit.
Editing Raven here. I meant to say Theon. I'm just an idiot.
No.
Everything he tries, she's like, no,
No.
you're wrong. You're dumb. No. 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 She just
I
like,
this.
yeah. And she doesn't like rub it in his face either. She does it in a way that like, I don't know how to describe it.
Sort of.
Yeah, she just like comes out looking like the ultimate badass, but it's not that she doesn't
Like,
even have to
she's a
try,
boss.
basically. She just is a
Yeah.
boss, yeah.
She is the boss.
I love her.
Me too.
I love her so much.
He looks just so pathetic.
He does! He looks so pathetic next to her.
He's an entitled little boy. And she's just tolerating him.
Yeah.
Asha reminds Theon that they are strong at sea, not in the middle of a forest where Winterfell is, and that he should have taken the boys to Pike as hostages, and that he fucked up by killing them,
Mm.
and that they could have like ended the war.
By using them as hostages.
Yeah,
Yep, she's smart. She uses her
It's-
brain.
she thinks ahead. He doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
He pulls this out of his butt and says that he killed the boys as revenge for their brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
"You don't
kinda-
like this."
That's kind of scummy.
And she accepts this.
Did she accept it?
Yeah, she has a kind of like a pleased look, like like she stopped bugging him for killing the boy. She's like, oh,
Oh, I
okay.
thought that she also wasn't buying it. I gotta look at this again. Okay. Our brothers, Asha reminded him, with a half smile that suggested she took his talk of vengeance well salted. So yeah,
Yeah.
that means
She-
she's taking it like with a grain of salt. So she's like, uh-huh.
Are you
That's
sure?
why you
'Cause
did it?
I feel like it's their saying. Isn't that their saying of the salted as a good thing?
Okay, well, I'm looking it up now.
Like how they don't like each other wearing jewelry if it wasn't taken the proper way. I don't remember how they called it. I think it was something to do with salt.
But when you take something with a grain of salt, that means you don't fully believe it.
Yeah, but they have their own saying.
But where's the
Using
evidence for
salt.
that? I don't remember that. I don't know. It just keeps bringing up, like, salty. But I think when it says she took it well salted, it means she doesn't fully believe it.
Oh, well, I understood it as like the Greyjoy thing. As the Greyjoy thing.
Wait, let me
Which
look at
I'm
this again.
Not wording well at all.
Oh, yeah, because she says, did you bring their ghosts from Pike, brother? And here I thought they only haunted father. It's like sarcastic.
Oh.
She's like, did you really care about our brothers?
Yeah, true. Like, he barely knew them, but
Yeah. So when she asks, did you bring their ghosts from Pike? To me, it sounds like she doesn't believe it.
okay.
And that is my evidence.
Okay. I don't have any evidence. Uh,
Go on.
Asha wants Theon to burn Winterfell and to come back to Deepwood Motte with her, but he stubbornly refuses and says he's gonna stay and hold Winterfell. She's like, "Well, I tried," and she bounces with 10 of her men, leaving 10 behind. Reek sneaks up behind him and claims that he can get like 100 to 200 men for him to help defend Winterfell. And Theon lets him go. And feeling kind of like maybe he's lying. Like that's quite the risk that he's taking.
I guess he would think to himself, what can this one man do if I let him go?
He knows that Bran and Rickon are alive.
Well, he doesn't know they're alive, but he knows that they weren't killed at the mill.
True.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers?
I'm not gonna bleep that one. I feel like it's kind of obvious. Maybe not obvious, but like, you know something's weird about it.
Yeah. Theon has another nightmare. This time about a feast of the dead, and he wakes up screaming. He orders for a girl to be taken to him, and he fucks her so hard that she is sobbing when he is done. Even then, he cannot sleep, so he goes for a walk.
Jesus.
He thinks that the castle and the Godswood are all Stark land, and that he should have left with Asha. That's something that Tyrion thought, that the Godswood would never belong to anyone but the Starks.
Right.
He arrives at the gatehouse, and he looks up at the heads of the boys sitting on spikes. They're not the Stark boys, but the Miller's boys. Reek flayed their faces and dipped them in tar to make them unrecognizable.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks that the people of Winterfell are fools for believing that they are the Stark boys.
Who's gonna think that he took two random boys?
Right?
And
like,
did
who'd
that to
think
them.
He's that horrific.
Yeah.
Ugh. At this point, do we know about the Boltons and their flaying habit?
I think the only thing we
From
know
the
is that
book?
it's on the banner.
Okay. This is a lot of flaying Rick is doing.
Yeah. So it's a thing they do, and that's why it's on their banner.
But we don't know at this point that Reek is.
But we know that he worked for the Boltons.
Yeah, he was Ramsay's pet.
Yeah. The bastard's pet.
And this is where I also like mentioned Jojen's tree
Wait, what?
of
Oh.
the flayed boy.
Yeah.
That's it.
If he wasn't before, Theon is now officially on my shit list.
It took this long.
He
He
just...
had less tolerance for Catelyn.
I feel like Catelyn had more responsibility as a mother, so I had more expectations for her. I didn't have a lot of expectations for Theon going in. You know?
Sure.
So he didn't, like, disappoint me that quickly, because I was like, yeah, I was expecting him to be, like, a shitty little shit.
POS. Yeah.
But now I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
Next is chapter 57.
Sansa.
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 Stannis' main forces have arrived, and everyone is running around preparing for battle. Cersei had invited Sansa to pray with the other highborn ladies in Maegor's Holdfast, which is the castle inside the castle.
Maegor's Holdfast.
But Joffrey had ordered her to see him off first.
He would. What a little shit.
Yeah. Joffrey shows her his new sword, Heart Eater, and tells her to kiss it, which she does, while thinking that he sounds like a stupid little boy.
That made me happy.
Yeah. He heads off to the Three Whores, and Sansa heads to the castle Sept. Set or Sept?
I say sept.
Okay.
Because the, like, priest guy is called a septon, right?
Yep. So all sorts of highborns are inside, and they're all singing and praying. Sansa sings along with the songs, and she sings for her siblings, including Jon. She sings for her parents and grandfather and uncle, her friend Jane Poole, everyone she knew in Winterfell. Even she prays for Tyrion and the Hound.
Wow.
She acknowledges that the Hound is not a true knight, but he saved her, so she wants him saved, and she prays to gentle the rage inside of him. It's kind of sweet.
It is kind of nice. I like that she's, like, acknowledging... I mean... These
But
people
she's not
haven't been, like,
upset.
kind to her, but they have
Yeah.
done things for her
Uh-huh.
so that she wouldn't...
Like
You know.
she acknowledges that he looks out for her, and like he's like the only one who actually like bothers for her safety.
Yeah. Like, he's actually stood up to, like, other knights or
He's
whatever.
the only one who came back for her during the mob.
Yeah. Exactamundo.
The Septon starts leading prayers for Joffrey, and so Sansa leaves. She doesn't want to hear this.
Yeah.
In the distance, she can hear the sounds of battle. War horns, the catapults, the scorpions, and the cries of dying men.
Lovely.
Very nice. She heads to Beggar's Holdfast and meets Lady Tanda at the drawbridge, where she's trying to coax Lollies across, who is the slow daughter
Mm-hmm.
who was gang raped during the mob.
Yeah.
She's terrified, clinging onto her maid and sobbing she doesn't want to cross. Sansa tries to help coax her, but Lolly's sister and her maid, Shay, end up
Shay.
pulling her across. Yeah. Lady Tanda kept saying that Lolly's is sick and she's pregnant. And
Oh, no.
Sansa was thinking, like, that's a weird way to say she's pregnant.
By saying she's
Like-
sick.
Yeah.
But it's from one of her rapists.
Yeah. One of her rapists, Doctor.
That's awful.
great. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. She's like clearly struggling with like PTSD, like really bad.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yikes.
Almost every highborn woman with a handful of old men and young boys are at the Holdfast. She sees Sir Ilan Payne standing in the shadows. She asks the Queen's guard, Osfred Kettleback, what the fuck? And he's like, the Queen needs him.
Oh, yeah.
Cersei arrives and sits. She asks Sansa if she's still on her period, which is a yes. And she's like, oh, so the men out there are bleeding and you're bleeding in here.
She's so weird.
Yeah.
All right, Cersei.
Thanks, Cersei.
That's the kind of thing you just, like, kind of nod and then look away.
The awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
She asks Cersei why Sir Ilan is there, And Cersei says that he's there to protect them, that their guards cannot be trusted because they're sellswords. So they need a knight. He's a knight.
Mhm.
They will need him if the city is sacked. Sansa says true knights wouldn't harm women and children, like thinking of Stannis' knight warriors,
Right.
knight soldiers. So she's saying that true knights wouldn't harm them, so like they don't need Sir Ellen. But as she's saying this, she also realizes she doesn't believe what she's saying. And Cersei's like, okay. She's like, uh-huh. And that was that chapter, hella short. And all these next chapters are hella short. Because the action is hitting right now.
Yeah, so
It's like boom, 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 like all different perspectives of what's going on.
this Sansa chapter, a little slow, but it's like, it kind of gets you thinking. You're like, oh, she actually appreciates the Hound? Like, oh.
I really like that part. That's the part that stood out to me the most.
And then it's like, oh, Sir Aelin's there to protect them, I guess? Okay.
I don't like her.
Yeah, so it's just like, it kind of gets you to question things a little bit. But yeah, so the next episode, because that's it for this episode, the next episode's gonna be fucking jam-packed with action.
Yep.
Fucking Davos.
We're going right into the battle.
Fucking Tyrion.
Yep.
And fucking Sansa again.
Another Sansa.
But
finding out what's going on inside the castle.
We'll get the answers to the little questions we had in this Sansa chapter.
Yep, we will.
And gotta say, the Davos chapter, which is the first one you'll be summarizing in the next episode, is probably the most epic action chapter I have ever read in my life from any book.
Yes.
It was amazing.
It was.
So definitely come back for that one.
Yep.
All right. That's it for this episode. If you want more of the podcast,
Please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at Tigbab Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby. Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Tigbab Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should pop up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Baram Barami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle that you heard at the start of this episode. And he's really dope and makes cool stuff, so give him a like and a subscribe. Also, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Tea is Good, Books Are Better. We have a few different tiers on there with fun rewards, so if you contribute, you will get something in return. You will also be helping us out immensely, and we'd be very appreciative, but we also just appreciate you listening.
and please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. That's it. Come back for Davos. Is he gonna kick ass or is he gonna get his ass kicked? We'll find out next time.
Very nice.
Very nice. All right, bye. Thanks for listening. Say bye.